Yeah.
Welcome. Good evening. I'm going to call the regular meeting of the Nevada City Public Arts Commission to order. Today is Wednesday, June 4th, 2025, and it's 5:37 p.m. I'd like to ask Commissioner Harney to read the land recognition.
Yes, please. We acknowledge that the Nisenan people are still here among us today, though nearly invisible. We understand that we are on Nisenan land that was never ceded, and the original tribal families have yet to recover from the near genocide of their people. As a resident or visitor in Nisenan land, we support the Nevada City Rancheria Nisenan tribe in efforts to stabilize their people, as well as their campaign to restore federal recognition.
Thank you. Can we all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Madam Deputy City Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Arianes?
Here.
Commissioner Schwartz?
Here.
Commissioner Arbex?
Here.
Commissioner Wilcox-Barnes?
Present.
Commissioner Clark?
Here.
Vice Chair Harney?
Here.
And Chair Negrete?
Here.
All members present.
Great. So I believe we're going to start off with a presentation from the Curious Forge, and we have Cara and Liam here.
Yep. All right. Front of the mics.
Yay. We started.
And we'll pull up your PowerPoint and then, or your slideshow, and then when it gets
Test,
to the
test.
video, they'll play.
Guess
from
we
the
don't
back
need
of the
that.
room.
Hi.
Hi.
Thanks for having us. I've been meaning to come for a while now. And I just wanted to find out who has been out to the Forge. Oh.
Good representation.
Great. How long has it been? Has it been a while? I mean, it changes, like every 6 months, it's changing. Great. And is that? Yep. So this is a question we ask all of our new members during orientation and that, like, you know, if you had the things we're trying to solve are equipment, time and training, and space. Time we can't really do anything about. We haven't invented that yet, but we can value, you know, let them know how they can value their time.
Who are you? Sorry.
The Curious Forge.
No, like you. You.
Oh, owners. We're owners.
Sorry. What
We
is the
started
name?
it, co-founders, about 14 years ago. We had an 800 square foot space. I think I got a slide on that.
Cool, cool.
But I want to do that, since you guys have been out, probably can skip that drone tour.
We can play, because people at
wanna
home
see it.
can watch it.
And I
Okay.
haven't
Yeah.
seen
later,
it.
so they'll play from the back room. Kyle, if you can play the video. High tech.
Located between Nevada City, Penn Valley, and Grass Valley, the Curious Forge is a 20,000 square foot playground for the artist, fabricator, tinkerer, and anyone looking to start a new hobby or rekindle an old one. We have 16 professional equipped studios and 25 experienced studio guides to help you make your project ideas come to life. We offer workshops and membership. The membership works much like a health club. You pay your monthly membership fees, take the required training, then you're all ready to use the studios. The jewelry studio is equipped with 12 individual workstations and all the equipment you need. We also have award-winning studio guides to help your jewelry project ideas come to life. Our lapidary studio is brand new and has all the equipment needed to create brooches and cabochons. We have stone saws, cabbing machines, and polishers. Our machine shop offers an array of traditional mills, lathes, and classes on how to use these pieces of equipment. We also offer a state-of-the-art CNC mill and an advanced fabrication training program which will teach participants how to go from idea to a computer file to a finished product. Our metal shop includes a wide array of equipment to make just about anything you want out of metal. This includes a sheet metal shop with planishers, beaters, brakes, slip rollers, and shears. Next up in the metal shop is the Plasma Studio, where you'll find 4 handheld plasma torches as well as a CNC plasma cutter capable of cutting intricate designs in steel. Our fabrication shop includes 4 welding bays with 8 welders capable of MIG, TIG, and stick welding processes. We also have other professional level equipment for your projects like drill presses, band saws, angle grinders, layout tables, abrasive cabinets, and an iron worker. If there's something you can't make in our shop, we want to know. Our glass blowing studio is heated up about once a month and is full of all the furnaces, glory holes, and glassworking tools you can need, as well as a number of professionals ready to help you. We have a great blacksmithing shop with large and small forges. We also have a power hammer, knife grinder, hydraulic presses, angle grinders, and all the other hand tools you can need to make your blacksmithing projects come to life. We have a very well-equipped wood shop with jointers, a planer, a wide belt sander, a CNC wood router, as well as professionals with a combined total of over 120 years of experience to help train you. Our wood turning room is equipped with 4 modern lathes and a pressure pot, which opens up a world of amazing creative opportunities. Our ceramic studio is our most popular studio, and for good reason. There's nothing more relaxing than working on a ceramics wheel. Our studio is well equipped with 8 wheels, a pug mill, a slab roller kiln, and a raku kiln. We also have a variety of studio guides who are very well known within the local community and are willing to share their knowledge with you. Our digital fabrication studio is the center of personalization. Using either one of our laser cutters, you can place images of pets, family members, or places you visited on a variety of materials like leather, wood, acrylic, and tile. We also have a 3D scanner to capture artwork made out of clay or other materials, and 4 FDM 3D printers, 2 SLA printers, as well as a clay printer to bring those 3D scans to life. And if you've never used any of this material, we've got you covered with a large number of classes. Our computer lab has 9 computers equipped with Adobe Suite and other graphic softwares. Our textile studio has a large selection of machines, including 6 domestic machines, 4 industrial walking feet machines, a leather machine, and 2 sergers. We also have desktop looms and spinning wheels. Our mixed media studio hosts a wide number of different classes and skill shares, such as assemblage art, upcycling, live drawing, painting, and mosaic. If you're looking for a community to reignite a passion or try something new, come get involved in the Forge. We offer guidance, access to equipment, and even storage so you can make the Forge your creative home away from home.
Considering we started behind Animal Save in half of that warehouse, we had 800 square feet and just grew through hard work of our volunteers. Now we got about 35 volunteers, about 180 members now, and that's a little bit of the history behind it. Just went to Burning Man, went to Maker Faire, said we need that up here. And it's actually a makerspace / art center, but people didn't know what a makerspace was, so we just call it an art space. But as objectively as I can be, it's one of the best in the country. I've been all over, hundreds of them, including Iceland, Spain, England, and all over the States, and this is one of the best ones. It should be in a metropolitan area, but we're lucky we got it here. So we're serving, you can read that. There is a link on the county log. It's a short 30-second. I took it last week. Can we hit that?
On the logo?
On the logo, there's a link.
Don't know if we.
Mine's, I just have a PDF.
Okay, that's right. It was just, we were doing a metal fab course for low-income residents. It's free to them through a grant, and I just took a 30-second video of them last week.
There's the one from the link.
But we we try and keep it balanced. It's gender balanced, age balanced, 18 to 88. I think we have slightly more women than men.
It's pretty even.
Yeah. So we like that, to keep it, a place to mix. That's one of the big things for age-wise, where do we have these different ages can mix together, right? We kind of have a little parfait going in society. So that's important to us to have that, that mix like that.
I can probably share it.
If you can't get it, it's okay.
He's good.
Sean can do it.
Yeah, so we like to mix, one of the things is our studio guides.
Just the volume from the laptop.
Yeah. So there's 8 participants on each. This is our third one. The course was developed in collaboration with the fab shops locally. Came up with a survey, a list of all their equipment, what skills they wanted to see, and created this course.
And 11 out of 16 of our recent graduates are working locally in metal
Yeah.
fab shops.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Then I reshare the other one.
We've done some artwork. You've probably seen the bicycle rack on the corner of South Auburn, and so we like to do more of that. I love like Bend, Oregon
The
has.
fish one.
Yeah. I
you
think
look at
kids climb on it more than
Yeah.
bikes get there, but,
If you look at the base, everyone who worked on that has their name welded into it.
yeah.
So it was
Yeah.
quite a few people worked on it.
Yeah. And there's something about, when somebody can point to something in public art. So I really love the idea of public art. We used the New York City public art book for making public art when we did that. Would love to do more of that especially with youngsters. It kind of roots you into a place when you can point at something. And we did help with the mural and back on behind Mill Street there, and all the kids' names are there. And so that, again, my kids are now like 40, and they go back there, and their names are on it. So, yeah, so these are some of the people that we have as, explorers, hobbyists. I did it in high school, and so they want to, re-spark that. This is one of the things that we, in our orientation, really emphasizes: no religion, no politics. Leave that at the door. We're in here to support each other in creating what's meaningful for us, reclaim our aesthetics. And so, yeah, we really pushed. That was a father and son that came in together, and he shared that it was a real bonding experience to learn welding together. We've had Java Johns in, the
Different
CEO.
companies, CEO of Nevada
The
City.
team came in and did some glass blowing and plasma, things like that. So our problem is honing down. There's so many opportunities. Who can't benefit from making? Everybody can, really. And so, there's so many opportunities, and we just have to kind of gather it in. That's her job, mainly.
That's right.
Squirrel. And she's like, no, let's focus on this squirrel. Yeah, we've had a couple businesses go through that. Living Intense, Caleb, he started off at the Forge because there was so much skills that he was building his own, and then using our studio guides, which they're all incredibly talented and experienced, and they showed him how to make doors that don't warp, windows that don't leak, and that top of the yurt is really sophisticated. So this is some stats that we've done. Wounded Warrior's been there several times. They love our getting to personalize some of their art. And the model is like a health club. Basically, you come in and pay a monthly fee and get trained in a particular area. So we get people, the training's very intense because we've got to get them to a point where they can operate that machinery by themselves. Because the studio guides are in there once, maybe twice a week. but they can come in 9 to 9 basically and use the equipment. So we have videos, we have slides, we have practicums, we got capstone projects, quizzes. So it really allows them to learn it in a really controlled way, safe way, and then they're off and running, whatever they want to make. So these are some of the events that we had, and we're looking at an assemblage one coming up. We'll see how that goes, but have you guys gone to any of the, like the Mud and Glory?
What is that?
We got, how many of the local ceramicists?
Oh, gosh,
20?
a lot of them. They participated. It was
Yeah.
all, a whole day of ceramics with
Yeah.
competitions and areas where the public could play in clay.
Yeah.
There was a lot going on. It was ceramics and sake was, so we had a sake demonstration from a guy.
You know, empty bowls, instead of that, we had sake
Little
glasses. We
sake
made
glasses.
hundreds of these sake glasses, so you got a sake when you came in. But all mornings was workshops by the local ceramicists, and then the afternoons was fun, like musical chairs for throwing, blindfolded sculptures, all that type of stuff. That was a lot of fun. We had about 250 people.
Wow. And are the dates on your website if people want to attend?
Yep. There's a
Oh, yeah.
catalog, event
Yeah,
calendar.
event
and that.
catalog, we do Facebook, Instagram a lot.
Yeah. Hot Metal Cold Beer was a good one. And everything we do is hands-on. So blacksmithing, fold forming, welding, plasma. And so you got a chance to try all of that. Because, you guys probably all know this, that, the thought of something versus the actual doing. You're smelling the wood when you're turning and feeling the texture versus, thinking about it, the idea of it. So bandwidth is so much more for actually doing. So we had Families in Crisis Crafting, that stopped during COVID, so we're resurrecting that. Mingle and Make is open for the public, it's a 2-hour thing, come in, it's very inexpensive, mosaic, sculpting, some flame working, things like that, just to get people together and get them, out of that dichotomy of the politics and all that. So we work with the nonprofit Forging Nevada County Forward. They funded the metal fab course through Family Services, I think.
Yeah, it was Community Services Block Grant.
Yeah. Really powerful. I pitched that about 8 years ago. Ed Sullivan was,
Not Ed Sullivan,
was that?
not Ed.
Ed
Schofield.
Ed Schofield.
You've done that.
Ed Sullivan. He came out and saw it, and they had a grant, but the state said, no, it's not about giving out vouchers for gas and food. It's about increasing family income. So why don't you go out to the Forge? We were ready for them. And so we've been doing it now. We got one more this year. I really love working with these guys and gals. I typically will go out on their first job. We go through interviewing, social skills, and they learn, as you saw in the video, just everything I know about metalworking. We have guests from the industry coming in. Sunday, one of the fab shops is going to come in and show them things that I don't know. I'm looking forward to it myself. So this is just, how, probably 80% of people have heard of the Forge. Not very many have come out. And I just want to invite you guys, literally, this is one of the best ones in the country. And it's a very small space, small community here. We really need a lot of support from the community to keep this going. There's not a single person it can't touch. Either workforce, families, families in crisis. We're made to be makers, so help us get the word out. And did you bring any?
I have cards, yeah.
If you want a card.
I'll leave
There's
a card.
that drone tour is on there, because, Yeah. A lot of people think, maybe we have crayons and watercolor and like that, so it's that, we have that. And the last thing I would say is our summer camps are unbelievable. To make from raw wood, raw sheath wood skateboards is mind-blowing for them. And then they get to laser their own design in it. But, we ask, because they'll come in again, or I'll see them on, have you trashed that skateboard yet? And they say, no, it's hanging on the wall. I mean, it's that good. And so things like that really vector a person's life. Because now it's not something, oh, I want that one, or I want that one. It's like everything is made, and it really brings that home. Everything's made. Everything has a fingerprint on it. So it's a very powerful thing. I do a metal art. They learn to weld, plasma torch, make anything they want but weapons. They all want to make swords. So any questions?
Yeah, opening it up to the commissioners, if you have any questions or comments.
Thank you.
I have a lot of questions, but
Go for it,
maybe it's
Shannon.
more for the discussion part of it. I never know how this works.
Well,
It's a presentation, so
it's all
It's
open.
free.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We're liberated. Cool. This is so cool. I'm one of the people who's been on your website for sure and just hasn't done the thing. And I don't self-identify as a maker, but,
You're our favorite.
no, totally. I don't know. I'm like the fly to whatever, honey. Really cool video, by the way. I'm curious if you could talk a little bit about like your outreach mechanisms for the workforce stuff. And I mean, 8 people, like maybe it's just not hard to fill those spots.
Yeah, it's not.
So,
We typically will have about 30 applicants.
Actually, more towards 40.
yeah.
And we interview every one of them.
Yeah.
Because, they need to be able to complete the course, commit to it, have some kind of aptitude. They don't have to know how to do metalwork, but
Yeah.
so we have to, we want them to complete it, so we don't want someone starting and then not being able to do that.
Do you have to do much outreach or people just like come?
Well, we do our
they
usual
word of
avenues,
mouth? Yeah.
Facebook, Instagram, the union, radio stations, so we advertise when we're looking for applicants, our mailing list. That's what we do.
It's so cool. Aspirationally, like in the future program stuff, you're talking about workforce training and creative trades. Are there other trades that you feel like would be a good fit for that type of skill? And obviously it takes like a ton of work to do it, to develop it, yeah.
But, we have a really good foundation in our qualifications. So almost all the tools are covered. I kind of layered on more advanced stuff as well, how to maintain the equipment, which members don't have to know that, but it's good for them to know. But the building trades, any of the building trades.
Building trades.
Cabinet making, carpentry, digital fab. So digital fab now is it. And so we have CNC routers, CNC mills and plasma and 3D printers, laser cutters, 3D scanners. So putting that together for, our community up here. One thing I would just say as well is we're very agile. So it was a number of years ago where ERC had looked at being a virtual reality center. I don't know if you guys all remember that. Trying to think of the guy that started that. So within 6 weeks, we had a 6-week course in virtual reality programming. So if there's something, I was up at the Contractors Association, that we can do there, we're pretty nimble. Where maybe the college isn't so nimble. It takes them a while to get accredited courses and stuff. So keeping that open as far as what are the needs.
Yeah.
And so that's why I went up to the Contractors Association. What do you guys need? A lot of it's OSHA training, ladders, things like that they have to do, or they'd rather have someone else do it. Yeah, so I didn't get a
Cool.
lot of feedback on that, but.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. And then, just wondering if you could say something about this Forge on the Go mobile makerspace. Is that a real thing or is it a fantasy?
So we did get a trailer, enclosed trailer. The idea originally was we were trying to get a van, this was during COVID. You know, all the vehicle prices, you know, doubled, tripled. So we said, well, what can we do here? Because we wanted to do like a reverse Uber. And I would still really encourage, because transportation, even at our metal fab, of course, transportation's a problem. Some of the participants were sleeping on couches. They're in a financially stressed place, so they need support. Transportation can be one of the things, but also some other community members. I've been trying to work with the county on getting a bus route, because they go right by there. You know, they go within 3 miles of the space. There's 500 students, there's 180 members. I think if we had, you know, bus route to the space, maybe even twice a day, morning and evening, it would be, open it up for a lot more people.
But also the Forge on the Go was
Yeah.
the idea of taking it out to schools, taking out certain things. We've done a lot of things like that, sort of at street fairs. We bring a lot of equipment out and people can try it,
Yeah.
but, you know, envisioned, we have these workstations for kids, for summer camps, for woodworking. And they're foldable and everything, and we could
Yeah.
take those out. Hasn't really got off the ground, but that was the idea of it, is to bring it out to other people.
Yeah, especially schools and stuff. Yeah.
Sweet.
Thanks for the questions. Yeah.
Kathy?
I have a question. Do you ever have people that, you've got a lot of high-end modern equipment, do you ever have people that want you to show them how to do the woodworking or do the ceramics? in
Well,
an
our
old-fashioned way?
Our qualification classes, which we call Learn to Use classes, are open to the public. And we have had people come in and do our wood shop because
Yeah.
they may want to build one at home and they want to learn how to safely use the equipment, and all of that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we train on equipment. They don't have to be members.
Yeah, and we have a lot of traditional equipment, table saws, band saws,
Yeah.
just regular.
I think you answered it, because a lot of people are not going to have that really high-end stuff at home, and they're not going to be coming
Right.
to your place all the
Yeah.
time.
So we sewing machines, jewelry, you saw. It skipped past a few spots here, but most of the equipment that we have is hand.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting. Thank you.
Gianna?
I see that one way to support is to help you expand the Artists in Residence program. I'd love to hear, like, where's that at and what ways can we support? Because, you know, representing the Arts Council, in a way being like liaison with the artists. I'd love to hear, like, ways that we could
Yeah.
actually support.
We should have included that in here, because we just had a meeting about that. We're going to be sponsoring, I actually offered it Holly Dilly, our first artist in residence, and she's going to Basel. And so
Oh,
she-
amazing.
Yeah. We do support a lot of artists to facilitate workshops at the space.
Okay.
Bishop, if you know him, he's the glass blower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did our lovely name.
Yeah,
Did he? Yeah.
not mine.
Yeah, so,
Except for that.
Okay, it's coming.
yeah, so we were just talking about that, scholarships for kids. We're trying to do the skateboard for just kids whose parents are checked out. That's who we want to get, you know, my parents were checked out. A lot, whenever we offer scholarships, it's the parents who have their antennas up for their kids, but there's a lot that fall through the cracks, so we want to do that. Did we come up with 3 scholarships for artists and 3 for youth, and then 2 a team to solve a problem. So they're going to suggest a problem that we have in the community. And it doesn't have to be, I say problem, but something to enhance the community. And so we're going to give them free membership, free qualifications, all that. So they can-
Amazing.
Yeah.
So cool. Yeah.
Any other questions, comments?
I just have one
Yeah.
tiny. How does membership work? Is it monthly and then people renew every month, or are you signing up for a
It's
year?
a
Is it-
subscription, yep,
Okay.
monthly. You can do yearly, you get a month off, but yeah.
Okay. Fun.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
You're such
Yeah.
Thank you very
Thanks for
much.
having us.
Yeah, thanks.
And do you guys know about the Champ Gallery artist calls? Have you guys been getting that? Because I feel like there's so.
What is it again?
So the Champ Gallery here in the city hall.
Oh, the one in the.
Yeah. We have a youth one. Do you know if any of your youth artists like heard about it
I
or?
reached out to the
You did.
because you have a youth program and I talked to somebody
Yeah, it's
there.
mainly, so one thing we didn't mention was we're dropping our membership age to 16. So we're going to try that first, 16, 17, see how that works out. And then, you know, I was a CASA and we learned that male, female has no higher risk behavior. You get boys together or males together, the risk factor goes up like 5 times.
You've seen that in work.
Pheromones or something, I don't know. Yeah, we had to hunt mastodons and things like that, so I guess that's where it comes from. So we're starting with 16, 17, and we'll see where we can go, because we do want to get more youth involved.
How did you guys fund this? Like, the concept came around quite a while ago, right? When you guys got started. Have you always been in that space? And how-
No,
Oh, you started in the
800 square feet, with 12 people threw in $50, literally, and we started paying rent. And
That's the
it-
hardest part, is getting people to pay. Oh, it's going to be great,
Yeah.
honest, it'll be $50.
And for a while, we actually, people paid by check, if you can imagine that, trying to
Yeah.
get people to pay. So it's much better now, it's automated and all of that.
Yeah,
but
the QR codes all over
We
the
grew
place.
very, organically, and we did start small, and
Yeah.
the big jump was going to where we are now 8 years ago. So membership and workshops are our primary.
Yeah.
And then
income.
you just developed out the different workstations and programs as
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
raised more money?
I've done
Yeah.
1,000 PowerPoint slides, or presentations.
Did you GoFundMe or anything like that?
No,
It's just
It's all self-funded.
self-sustaining?
self-funded, yeah. We've both thrown in money too, but, yeah.
It's amazing.
So we're in the black mostly. 2 years ago, we were in the red. It's a big nut to crack every month, but it's
How'd you make it
so
through
worth it.
COVID?
We were lucky. A lot of our members stayed with us.
Yeah,
When, for the ones that couldn't financially do it, the nonprofit paid membership for a while. There was that 3 months where we were shut down, which actually was great for us. We got a lot of things done in the space.
every tool is shadowed and color-coded. I mean,
It's very
there are
organized.
hundreds and hundreds of tools, because you either got to lock them up or have them out. And so we had them out, so every night we can go through, oh, we're missing that, and go find it. So, yeah, it was actually a great break so that we could have a breather and redo things, expand the ceramics.
But
The
really,
pottery,
yeah.
they grow them on they breed them on special farms, ceramicists. We get so many.
The most active area.
But we love bringing them over, right? Yeah. With pottery, it's easy to get form, hard to get volume. In metal, it's hard to get form and easy to get volume. So we know the schizophrenics go back and forth.
Well, thank you again
Yeah.
for the presentation. This is really wonderful. Appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
Help us get the word out.
Yeah.
We're all
for sure.
inspired.
Absolutely. For sure.
Thank you.
And let us know,
Have a
like,
tour,
this is the Arts Commission, right?
Public Art Commission.
So we'd love to partner and
Yeah.
see what we can bring, especially involving youth.
Yeah.
How many members could you have? You have 180, like how big can you get?
Well, we can go 4 times that.
Okay.
You could, yeah.
Wow.
It's a big space, and not everyone's there at once.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great, thanks so much. Thank you, Liam
So-
and Kara.
We are going to move on to our next presentation with Heather. You have a new name, Heather Heckler, co-owner of Wonder Docent.
Hi, guys.
Welcome.
I told Liam you're going to hear my stomach growling, but thank you for the cheese.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, I think most of you guys know me. My name's Heather Heckler. I'm the co-owner of the brand new Wonder Docent with my partner Liz Matson and our longtime friend Allison Schmidt. We're all locals. We all grew up here. We're all artists of some sort and have been involved with the creative community for a long time. We've been planning this and dreaming about this for a while now, and really our goal is to create a space that we always wanted here in our hometown, our little hometown, which it feels a lot more active than it used to, but you know, when I was growing up here, everything was closed on Sunday. So we want to create that place that we always wanted, and we want to supply and show off the work of local artists and creatives, and many of those are our friends, and we want to inspire people to get back to their creativity is kind of one of our main goals. Really just get people to put down their damn devices, get out of their heads and make something with their hands. And I like to quote Linda Berry, the amazing cartoonist, who said that our hands are the original digital devices. We want to get back to that because creativity is healing, and I think all of us have, you know, we're all living in a very strange world right now, and there's nothing better than drawing something or making something to get out of your thought process and just get your emotions down. Creativity is really healing, and that's what we need more of in this world. We're really inspired by the analog DIY creative spirit of Nevada County when we were growing up, punk spirit, our parents' generation, who brought some of that with them. And we want to we think of it as almost like rebuilding the community that we want to exist here. We feel that, you know, there's been some change, and that has come with some loss, especially on Broad Street in downtown Nevada City. And in some ways, it's a little bit of a taking back. I feel really proud to be on Broad Street in the old Grey Goose space, and we honor Stewie and her weirdo vibe. She brought us up, essentially. So in addition to selling art supplies and stationery and books and hosting creative workshops, we sell handmade limited edition work by local and regional artists, including Osborne Woods, who I think you hopefully all know, very influential designers and printmakers who helped make this town what it is. And Beverly Hackett, who came here with her husband Dick Hackett in 1949, and she was a local artist and illustrator whose woodblock prints we have, and they really celebrate the flora and fauna of our area, which is really cool, and so we'll be kind of rolling those out seasonally. And right now we have a bunch of cats. Get in there if you're a cat lover. But there's all kinds of, she did a lot of mushrooms, horses, everything. So you'll see more of that. We also have contemporary work, including hand-built ceramics by Studio Cagliari and Miriam Morris, glass objects by Keep It Weird Creations, painting, stickers, and zines by John Hioki, some prints that I made, and a bunch more to come. So our vibe generally is modern, colorful, with a queerdo sense of humor, and so like think MoMA gift shop, but like highbrow, lowbrow. We'd have a giant hot dog in our window if you haven't seen it. And that is really like a beacon, and it's so cool to be in there and just like people see the hot dog and they come in and it's like, I found my people. So our workshops, which we call experiences, will kind of focus on process over outcome. So we're not about like making the perfect thing. We're about process and like creativity and curiosity and again, like using your hands. So there's no right way to make art, and so there's only your way. And so that's kind of the idea behind what we're trying to do. And it will always involve ideation, experimentation, and lessons that can be applied to the next project. It's also really a celebration of place for us. You can tell by the way that, you know, the things that we're selling, but it's hyper-local in some ways. And we plan to host regular drop-ins, drawing nights, Stitch and Bitches. We want to do presentations and walking tours. I have a lot of weird ideas. Our core customers are queer people and youth, which has been just like incredible over the last couple weeks that we've been open, just to like, I feel like seeing and feeling a community that I haven't really felt here in a long time. The creative community, obviously, and then lovers of art and design and creativity. I keep saying it's like a community space, hopefully funded by tourism in some way. Let's see. We'll also have like traditional drawing and painting workshops, printmaking, paper mache, clay hand building, and some creative play workshops. We have a really big vision, so this is just the beginning. The retail shop is one thing, and we have other ideas. And so if you want to come see us, we'll be open for the Friday Art Walk. We'll have printmaking with local artist Chris Dacre, who's amazing. And you can find more about us at wonderdocent.com. Sign up for our newsletter. We hopefully send that out regularly. That's on me. Or follow us on Instagram at wonderdocent. So that's what I have to tell you guys. We're new, we're babies. I hope to get to the point that Curious Forge is at. They're so inspiring and amazing support to us. And I'll just say, like, this community is so incredible. The businesses, everybody has just been so supportive and helpful. Abstract, God bless them. They've put up with a lot of noise from us, sanding and sawing and all the things. But, like, we just live in such a cool place, and we're really excited to be part of it.
Thank you.
Thanks, you guys. I brought free stickers.
Yay!
Pass them around.
Free stuff.
Commissioners with any questions or comments for Heather?
I just want to say thank you, Heather. I'm so glad you're there.
Thank
Can't
you.
wait to see what you create. So the first workshop is printmaking this Friday?
Just for Art Walk, yeah. Chris will just be down there making prints on fabric and little pieces of paper, and it's really about showing the printmaking process, really. Yes. Yeah.
And is the risograph?
Yes, so we have a
And with
risograph
that.
printer.
Okay.
So if you aren't aware, it's basically a Japanese copy machine that you find in like school basements and church basements, and but it makes really interesting patterns and colors and mistakes. And it's all soy-based ink, so we did buy a used risograph machine, and so we're playing with it, trying to figure it out, what colors we'll have, but we want to make posters and prints and who knows what else, and then eventually have workshops, and hopefully people can come and just play on it. That's the dream.
Please.
Yeah, I think it'll be really fun. So we're starting with the CMYK setup, essentially with aqua, fluorescent pink, yellow, and black. So, yeah, watch out, everybody.
It's not normal for a person who just opened a business like last week to come to a public meeting. So
Yeah.
weird, but great to see you. No, and
you.
congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And, I think you and I have talked about just public art also as community connection and culture and people being together and having safe spaces to like foster these ideas. So I really see Wonder Docent as such a like beautiful part of the ecosystem that we're here to help move forward. So yeah, thanks for.
Thank you. And you already have. I mean,
your
everybody
gang
who's sitting
yeah.
here has been ultra supportive and amazing. So yeah.
We can't wait to spread the word and yeah, work together.
Thank you.
Big shoes to
on
fill.
behalf.
You did such a good job. Like, where do you go after Stewie? But you did it. It's
I know.
So beautiful in there.
Thank
and
you.
It's fun that it's not just a store full of more crap. It's like actually a very interactive thing.
There's some crap, Nikaya. Don't worry. We still have racing cockroaches.
You have good books. You did say that. You still have what?
Racing cockroaches.
I think everyone needs one.
Thank you. Yeah, no, exactly. And, like Stewie, again, she's a family member and a friend and an amazing, amazing creative person, strange person, and that was very much her place. And so we want to carry that forward and honor that because she did help make us who we are. Like it or not.
All of us.
Yeah, all of us. All of us who grew up here, for sure.
And I've seen photos of the inside, but are the workshops, is there another space other than the front retail, or how's that working?
Yeah, so essentially there's like sort of a false wall towards the back, and everything beyond that will be workshop space. So right now it's just a big workspace disaster, honestly, like where we keep cardboard. But we're working on the workshops, and I hope to have a schedule out really soon.
Great.
Yeah, and that will be sort of the primary community gathering space. The entire shop is 1,100 square feet, which is not what we were originally thinking. We were like 500 square feet, you know? So, yeah, we're working on how to best use it.
Amazing.
Any other questions for Heather or comments? Thank you for the presentation,
much
and we're
for
so
having me. I
excited.
really appreciate it.
Yeah, to have you here.
Thank
Go
you.
eat.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Heather.
All right. So we are going to move on to public comment. Government Code Section 54954.3 provides that any member of the public may address the commission on any matter that is not on the agenda, but that is within the subject matter jurisdiction of the commission. The Brown Act, with limited exceptions, does not allow the commission or staff to discuss issues brought forth under public comment. The commission cannot take action on non-agenda items. Concerns may be referred to staff or placed on a future agenda. Please note that comments from the public will also be taken on each agenda item at the time it is heard. Speakers must adhere to the meeting procedures identified above. Do we have any public comment for this evening? All right. Then we will move on to the consent agenda, which includes the action minutes from the May 7th regular Public Arts Commission meeting and calendared agenda items and commission requests for future presentations and actions. All items listed under the consent agenda are considered to be routine in nature and will be approved by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items. Before we take action on the consent calendar, we will hear any public comment on consent calendar items only. Do we have any public comment on consent calendar items? Okay, so now I'm looking for a motion and a second to approve the consent calendar.
I'll move that we approve this consent calendar.
I second that.
Great. So I have a motion by Commissioner Wilcox Barnes and a second by Commissioner Clark. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Arianes?
Aye.
Commissioner Schwartz?
Aye.
Commissioner Arbex?
Aye.
Commissioner Wilcox Barnes?
Aye.
Commissioner Clark?
Aye.
Vice Chair Harney?
Aye.
And Chair Negrete?
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right. So for business, we have follow-up discussion on opportunities to partner with the Public Arts Commission of Truckee. And this is going to be presented by Sean Grayson.
Good evening. Hard acts to follow. Love the Curious Forge and love everything about Heather Heckler, so I imagine that is going to be a wonderful place. At your March 5th meeting, you requested a number of things, including presentations from groups like Wonder Docent and the Curious Forge. I think the only one we haven't got to yet is Wolf. Yes. We'll keep trying to get people in as much as you like to share, but in addition to the request for those presentations, you asked that we look at potential collaboration with the Public Art Commission of Truckee, which they call PACT, which is kind of confusing because before they had PACT, Public Art Commission of Truckee, they had TPAC, the Truckee Public Art Commission, which was under their Parks and Recreation District, not the town. So if you hear TPAC or PACT, then they're different things, but they're doing the same stuff. We met, Lisa and I met with their staff liaison in April, and then this last month, we met with their chair and vice chair, along with our chair and vice chair, and their staff liaisons talked about opportunities to collaborate. They had done parallel meetings, talked about it. They're a structurally different commission. They were formed after the creation of a public arts master plan. We were formed in advance of, with anticipating that someday you might guide us through a public arts master plan or some other, vehicle that would speak to arts in the community. They also have representation on their commission from various art disciplines, including, which is different than us, right, where we have the 4 from various groups and then 2 in residence and our youth commissioner. So just lots of differences there. It was interesting to speak with their team, both their chair and vice chair have been with them for a long time, and they seem to be very well-informed about public arts, I think would be a good way to say it. So what we talked about was a couple of things, but leading off onto, if you want to follow the path that we had talked about before, would be, we're seeking your input on the idea of a September 2nd meeting. We would intend to arrive early up there. We carpool, we'll drive everybody up there in city vehicles. The early would be in advance an opportunity to see public art that's there, because you wouldn't be able to see as much if we waited till after the meetings when it gets darker. And so we would have kind of like a self-guided tour of some of the highlights of the things that they have in their community, then ultimately meet them for a joint commission meeting of both the commissions, and then afterwards have some type of mix or, less formal environment. So that was essentially what we talked about at the last committee meeting anyway, but they seemed supportive of that with their meetings are, it sounds like a little more, I don't want to say rigid, but like they're on task. They know exactly what's going to be at that meeting. They got, certain time to do it in, so.
Participating in their like routine business or just watching it or?
It sounded like it'd be a special meeting for
Okay,
that
yeah.
purpose, yeah. So, because of that, because we're not in that lane, so to speak. They seemed like that would work for them. Obviously, a lot of details to work out, but just wanted to start with the commission's thought on that as an idea that we could work on, and then we'll get into some of the kind of the nuts and bolts and questions that we might need to answer before we got there. And
So-
obviously, the chair and vice chair were there and led the discussion, so.
Would it be helpful then at this point to see what kind of availability commissioners have for that date, just to at least get that?
Sure.
I would offer some facilitation leadership at this point in the conversation, because I think I offered at our meeting with those people. So I'm happy to kind of take it away,
Yeah.
unless there's public comment. Adam?
I'm fine with it.
Great. So I think there's 2 orders of business that ideally we would accomplish at this meeting. One is kind of narrowing in on logistics for that joint meeting hang. And then the second is soliciting a little bit of feedback from you guys on what you feel like would be most meaningful to glean from that group, what topics of conversation, collaboration, inquiry, whatever. And then I would kind of ask to be empowered to synthesize what we talk about here into some kind of document that we then review in July, that then would go to the Truckee people in advance, which is what they asked for, that we give them like some questions or topics that we'd want to do. Cool.
And you wouldn't have to come up with it tonight, obviously. If you
Right.
do,
Yeah.
great, but you could, send it on by email or anything else, the kind of, that's not to steal Shannon's thunder, but you're going to have a million questions of them, right? And only so much time when we're up there. So anything that we could get answered, and vice versa. So anything that we could get answered in a Q&A sheet for either commission in advance, so you had that kind of basic baseline information.
Yeah.
And didn't have to ask those questions while you're up there. I think that's.
Yeah.
Am I right in that?
Totally that, yeah. I think FAQE, like nuts and bolts, because like Sean said, they're just kind of structured, their mechanisms, their funding is different, so that stuff we could just be informed of in advance. But I think there's questions around like community buy-in approaches, controversy, like how they've done stuff that we might want to just like be prepared to have that conversation, so they are also prepared to have it with us. Yeah, so just kind of like I could capture some first vibes that you guys have, and we can kind of maybe have this as a standing item for the next couple meetings. Okay, so I think the fantasy would be, based on the time the sun sets, and when they normally have, I'm looking at the sunset in my mind, and when they normally have their meeting, that we would get to Truckee at like 2, which would mean we'd be leaving Nevada City at like 1:45 on a Tuesday, the day after Labor Day, and then returning home, you know, whatever, 6 something. So just first gut reaction, by show of hands, who could even make that kind of thing work? We all have jobs, but somehow.
For the day off. Depending on how late we're returning home.
Yeah.
I could make that day, but the next day, I'm gone early.
Yeah, by my math that I made up in my head with no consultation with anyone, I would say we would be like getting home somewhere around like 7, just around sunset.
What time do they have their meetings at? 'Cause,
Their
like, we have
meeting
ours at
is
5:30.
typically, so our meeting's on Wednesday. This would be in lieu, I think, of our normally scheduled September meeting, which is on my birthday, so I probably wouldn't come anyways. The Tuesday meeting on the 2nd of September is typically from 4 to 6, but they were like, it's flexible, so if we wanted to do like a tour with their chair and vice chair who offered to do it with us from like 2 to 3:30, and then like take a bathroom break, and then meet from like 3:30 to 5:30, and then like hang out from like 5:30 to 6:15. So that kind of general timeline, like in Truckee from like 2 to 6, with like an hour on each side for travel. That's my proposal. And it sounds like people are willing to sacrifice their employment to make this happen. Great. So that can be noted in the notes.
I think, yeah.
What?
Self-fired. Going to
It's
Truckee.
the best way to get fired.
And this is replacing our Wednesday.
And I think this would replace our Wednesday meetings.
Unless there's something
addition
on
to-
the timeline that was supposed to happen.
Like unless we had to do like gallery planning or
What
something.
was
Right.
happening in September?
I can't remember.
Yeah, you can see in the item
can
number
look
2,
at the art
it
at the
shows
top
you
of the
what's on that
screen.
September.
Yeah, there's just August and then it
November.
skips to November, so.
But if we had a public art application, let's say, you know, somebody came in with this
Right.
amazing piece of art and the planning commission said this is amazing, or I mean, we thought it was, and we need to get in front of the planning commission at a certain date, we could ask you to call for a special meeting if that was
Okay.
needed. But short of that, or something pressing like that, then, you know, you could certainly choose amongst yourself to have that replace your regular meeting.
Okay, so that sounds good. General possible logistics, general possible maybe the Wednesday meeting stands. At this, like it's, we understand.
Yeah.
It doesn't stand, we
Right.
understand. At this point, just kind of in a free-floating way of brainstorming, what do you guys, I mean, you may or may not have reviewed the full packet. You can see it includes the whole master plan. It includes Troy, their chair's comprehensive resource list. When Sean said they're involved or whatever, what he meant was like obsessed. I mean, they're powerful people. They're really into public art. So there's a lot there. So
I'm sure we've read all the books that they
I'm sure you've
sent.
read all the books.
We bought some of the books they recommended, so.
Did you?
Yes.
The links didn't work.
Wow.
On Lisa's dining table or some table, apparently.
But yeah, in an effort, I guess, to maybe inform some follow-up homework that goes out, is there anything that you guys want to like capture right now about like what would be valuable to engage that group with?
And one of the, sorry to belabor the point, but something that we didn't put in the staff report, I don't think, in the attachment, but the things that that Troy recommended, you kind of think in your head about was anytime you're doing any discipline was, what are your commission's goals or your individual goals for 1 year, 5 year, 10 year? If you got a pot of $500,000, how would you spend it on public art? And if you have a list of shovel or paintbrush ready projects, like where would you put them? What would they be? Just like as brain teasers, so.
I read through everything that was in there, and I have, and I think it's, really, really good, and especially the list of the resources and the links and the books and all of that. But then I had some things that, I thought maybe they've done, we should be putting on our list possibly for the future. So I don't think that really plays into the joint meeting, but a discussion for us to have later on. Like we talked about possibly doing, they did their master plan ahead of time. We were formed, and now we might want to do a master plan, as a goal setting, definitely. And then I came away with things like creating an inventory of our existing public art, because we saw the and then from that, an inventory of possible locations. And the differences, we've got some real differences between Truckee. We have a historic district. They don't. So we're working with two sets. I don't know how, that would be a question to ask them. Do they have different areas, how their zoning meshes with their public arts things, those kinds of things. And, so I just have like this whole list of things that we might, as a commission later, after, and maybe after some thought, we would
Want to consider.
we might put it in your list for the meeting, but, ours, we have the historical district where we have temporary art only. They have, I don't know, I didn't see that in there. We have a kind of a governing document. They definitely have their own responsibilities that are, sometimes they mesh and sometimes they don't. But I see it as more of a real opportunity to find out what they're doing that works, that we could possibly, maybe with a few changes, make it work for us, and things that don't. Maybe it's working for us already, and we've got some things to offer. We've got, we're doing our gallery that we've got up and going. And so I think thinking of some of the things that we can offer them too.
Totally.
We're not just going on hey, we're the new commission and we need your help. We're doing our own thing too, and I just, want us to include some of our successes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, to piggyback off you, Kathy, what I was appreciating is like the early on involvement of community in sort of sussing out those locations, because I think we have a great list of like public land and opportunities
And I meant
for
to do
public
with-
art, but just getting community input early on so we know like, oh, this is where everybody wants to see art, so we can set ourselves up for success. And then,
But I
moving
think,
forward.
I should have said, and I had it on my notes, if we do an inventory, then that, not putting that on the staff to do, that we might, as the, two members of the commission, or we go out and then we pull the list together. I don't think it's fair to put more work necessarily on the staff to do it.
So hard.
Sorry to interrupt you, Mira.
They're kind of a non sequitur, but there is likely an opportunity to, that same list of properties we have to take for our Community Economic Development Committee, ostensibly the Housing Committee, and run through it and look at which ones could support housing potentially in the future. And so we're going to go out and ground truth. Some of them we know can't, right? But take pictures, do some work there. We could bring that back to you, and then that's usable in the same fashion. And then you could choose to do what Kathy's saying, you could choose to, have a meeting at at 3 of the places in the future. You could say, no, staff do it all, whatever works. But I think that there'll be a little bit enhancement to that list that we've previously shared in the near future. So hopefully that will be helpful to that process.
I like the idea of developing our own, like, 2-year priority list, like they have, just giving ourselves a little bit more strategic planning and direction. I'd be curious also how they engaged with more like private development, building development community for more opportunities and encouragement for public art. And then questions about funding, maybe joint grants, or just how to get more.
They have money.
Yeah, how do we
have a lot
get
of
that money?
private foundations.
Do you know how they started their
How can they
seed
give
budget?
us?
What's that?
Do you know how they put money in their fund?
This year is the first year that they've actually had money dedicated to that. Prior to that, it had been, they got money for things, but it wasn't dedicated to that. They got it, when the project came through or the city got a grant or whatever it was. But now in this budget, they have money dedicated to that programming.
Out of their general fund?
I think it is general fund money. But, I mean, they also, yeah.
Oh. And then this Americans for the Arts, the membership for the, the Public Art Network, PAN, is that something that our commission is interested in? I saw something that it was like 300 for a year, 6 to 10 members. Let me see what page was it on?
It's page 27.
And I think just there might be things that come up from all of these resources and stuff that end up as like possible agenda items for our group,
Yeah.
for future meetings, and aren't something we even need to take back to them. Just they've shown a light on it for us to consider. But you can keep looking for the PAN.
We
It's there.
found it.
Yeah, it's
Page 27, the first link on there.
just seemed like it could be possibly a good resource for us. Maybe it's just like one person could have a membership and then share with the group, or.
I think we, for at least me, it seems like we also have to acknowledge that Truckee's a little bit different than we are.
Absolutely.
I won't acknowledge that.
They, try to buy a house in Truckee versus Western Nevada County. I think they are a little bit different economic status, so maybe the money coming in, so as we factor, we come up with ways to raise money. That's just something to factor in, that if it's, maybe, I don't even know how it would be done, that, when a house is purchased or sells, that something goes into fund. Well, the price on a $2 million ski condo up there versus a $500,000 place here is going to be what you're going to get off. It's going to be less. That's all I'm saying.
Surely.
Yeah, one of the things that the folks said at the meeting was they considered how to fund it, and they even thought about like, oh, should we add on a little fee with a permit application or something to contribute money from something usual that happens in the town to a fund, but they decided not to do that. So, like $2 from every permit fee would go to a public art fund, or could.
Have to figure out how to it connected to it, depending on what permit it is.
And they're 10 times our budget, and they don't do fire, water, sewer, Parks and Rec. Those are all special districts.
And some of it, Park and Rec, I believe they had set up quite a while back, and it's got a pretty good funding source already built into
The
it, didn't it?
Parks and Rec district has a special tax, yeah.
All right, well, based on the material that was provided in the packet, is there any other like first reactions that you think would be helpful to capture? Otherwise, I'm gonna take, kind of what information we got in our meeting with them and information I've heard here, and maybe put together some kind of document that I'd like to distribute to the commission for people to provide further insights that then we will synthesize into the thing that we give to them, whether it's a FAQ type design or like more free-flowing, like, hey, we want to be prepared to, we'd like to, have this on the agenda for the joint meeting. Does that sound okay?
You can just share that with Lisa or I, and then
Yeah.
we'll send it out to the commission, and that way you don't have any Brown Act issues, and
I hate
get it
those.
right back to you.
Love it.
Yeah, I would like a little more time to review everything.
Yeah.
It's so extensive, even with the resources they shared, and then offer some feedback for sure. So yeah, I think that sounds like a good idea.
Great.
Is there anything else anyone wants to add on this
I'm
topic?
just throwing this out there. One of the things I'd be interested in
Yeah.
hearing from them is obviously their are how they look at it, how they approve it versus what their weather. They have much harsher weather than we have. And we talked about the painted pianos, and I mean, I just can't even imagine that. Working up in Truckee, maybe it could for 3 months in the summer or something. But I'd be interested to see if they do have, some special criteria or something they look at that.
Yeah, is there a way we can see, because we're not going to be able to tour the whole town, like, will they do a presentation so we get like a sampling of what their public art even is?
They also
'Cause-
have an inventory that I can share the link to where they have all the different public
Okay.
art that they've inventoried.
Okay.
And you can like click through it. It's a story map.
Great, okay,
I'll send it.
okay.
And then we could build what we visit around what you want to see.
Okay.
If it's like really obvious from the inventory, it's like, that's great, but we don't need to see it. Then maybe you don't
Yeah.
pick that, or,
Yeah, make suggestions on which ones.
Okay.
And pay attention to placement too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they talked about, they don't, essentially, to Kathy's point, they don't do murals, because murals don't hold up
Can't.
to the weather there, so they just don't do it.
Yeah.
So not that they wouldn't like to see them, they're gonna last 2 seasons and they'll be gone. So,
The temporary
of a
vinyl
mural.
murals.
In here. Anything else? You got everything you need for now?
Everything I need for now.
Great. Okay, then we will move on to commissioner and staff liaison reports. If there's anybody who would like to share any information, upcoming
What?
events, things that you've done.
I would like to, some of us, we should all remember, I'm not sure that everybody was there that night, someone came from the Bayou Land Trust, and they're doing their Summer Stars walks right now, plus the Art and Nature, and there will be a performance on Saturday, the 7th at 5 o'clock on the part of the project that we gave approval to, which is on Hirschman's, the logs. The stumps, whatever, And I believe it's at 5 o'clock, a dance performance. And then on the 23rd, there's, down at the China Bridge, there's the young man Adam who's doing the snake. Anyway, they're doing a little potluck get-together thing. So go, look it up, and I think it's really interesting if any of you saw the big bird nest that Peggy did last year, made out of just natural materials. So, plug for what we already approved here, go out and look at it. This month of June, and I think some of them maybe a little later.
Great, thank you.
First Friday Art Walk, this Friday at the Annex. Chirp's New Space will be open at 205 York Street for that, as well as Ubaseyu. Come out, look at art, buy art.
And the
Good time.
hours for that?
6 to 9.
6 to 9.
Yeah.
And the Firehouse Museum will be open on the first Friday art walks.
awesome.
Awesome.
You can come in and, no, we don't have it hung yet, the Bev Hackett paintings.
And we put in the back of your packet under
Public comment.
public comment, Lisa has been hard at work on painted pianos. So there's one out there already, obviously more to
Nice.
come.
Jerry Ann.
People are loving it. Wait, where is it? Yeah, we're getting a lot of good
It's at a
feedback.
pizza
In front of the pizza
Yeah.
joint,
It looks so
so
good.
or Inner Path.
Okay.
on Commercial Street.
Oh, fun, okay.
I just saw it yesterday.
When
was
did
like,
it go out?
Excited to see
yesterday.
it out.
It went out yesterday?
Yeah,
Paint
I
the
saw it.
back, so I wanted to
Octopus.
see, you're a musician, maybe you know. I'm considering either, the piano tuner guy was like, if we can cover the back with a sheet or something, it will protect it from the sun more. But then the artist requested that maybe we put like a thin sheet of plywood on the back. And so I don't know if that's gonna just totally
Does it mess
kill
with
the
the
sound
sound
quality,
for
or
residents?
Yeah.
if maybe a little quieter would be a good thing.
It might actually make it louder. Like usually if you put an upright piano against a wall, it
Yeah, the
carries
back
the
is
sound
Right.
over as
really?
opposed to if it's just freestanding in the room.
He's just sitting
That's such a nice comment from Nevada County peeps.
I know, right? It's so sweet.
Oh, it's Nevada.
Oh, Nevada City
Wait, where is it?
It's like, sometimes that gets rowdy.
So that one's out. We'll have one more at some point, and then the interactive one will be here in front of City Hall on each of the 3 Fridays.
Nice.
Cool.
So
And
So
Sean,
Lisa, I don't know.
can you remind us about how long that particular piano is planned to be out there, and does it stay there 24/7?
stays there 24/7, and so it'll be June, July. It'll go away sometime after the fair, so mid-August.
So cute.
Be cool.
Yeah, we gotta get the back done.
I have
If it doesn't mess with
an
the sound,
announcement
so
of
that
a
can be
thing
edited.
happening tomorrow at Nevada City Film Festival headquarters. We're doing the Creators Meetup. And also the Nevada City Film Festival is coming up in June. So if any of you are
Movies Under the
here.
Pines.
Yes, and is that this weekend, Movie Under the Pines?
Big or something.
I think it is this
The
weekend.
9th.
That's
So what is the 8th?
Monday?
Well, you can look it up.
7th.
But anyway, so tomorrow will be at their headquarters, which is right next to Nourish, the sushi place on Union Street. It's their headquarters. We'll be there from 5 to 7. I know that they are launching like a grant for filmmakers tomorrow. They're announcing that. So I'm not sure exactly what it is about, but I just wanted to mention that. Yeah, so
Right.
hopefully you guys can make it. And the
That
art
does-
walk, I'll be out with Unlikely Gems, Jess Regal. We're going to be taking more surveys from folks on the streets during the art walk for the Arts and Culture Action Plan that the Cultural District is leading. So that should be fun.
That'll be entertaining.
Yeah.
So the movie's on the 7th. The 8th is Honey Hills Festival.
Yeah.
Out at Pioneer Park.
Okay, great. Yeah, Honey Hills Fest is a great one, too.
Big.
Cute. I'll be live broadcasting for KVMRX at the Honey Hills Festival with Jonas's sister.
Wow.
On Sunday, so you should come. It's gonna be great. Other liaison reporty stuff for the future. I would like the Public Arts Commission to somehow be in the know on the skate park conversations. I feel like there's a natural partnership there somehow.
That needs to happen.
That should happen, and however we could help facilitate that, because skating is art.
And
Well, and
the potential
potential
for
murals,
public
too.
art also to be
Yeah, it's like,
included in
yeah,
the
there's like
skate
public
park.
comment happening and design stuff happening, and, you know, we were late to the game on the Y Street thing, which is fine, but like, is there a role we can play?
It will come to you in the pre-design phase after we award a contract to a vendor. We're doing design build, the bid's out right now. And so different than a normal construction project where we say, we want you to build this house, and then we just take the low bidder. This is, we want a skate park that you're gonna design and then build it, and you design it based on what we say you're gonna design, and so that'll involve multiple community meetings.
Okay.
And at least one of them will be in a joint meeting with you and likely the Community Services Committee of the council. And then after that, you're welcome to participate in however that, works its way through the process. Because like you said, skating is art, but also, sound walls can become places for art, and, they're also commonly called graffiti walls. so-
Piano in the bowl
In the
of
bowl.
skate park.
Yeah.
Ruin everybody's life.
You hear the response to that right now?
I can see the teach conversation.
Is there anything
Not everybody
else?
is in support of the
I have
skateboard
one
park.
thing, sorry.
Yes.
Champ Gallery theme selection is in July. So I suppose we'll just use the themes that came forward last time unless anybody has an idea they would like to add to that. Please send it over.
And can you remind me if that's something that we then vote on at the meeting? Or is it done through that like electronic process of?
We could
Because
do it
it's
at the
just a
meeting, and
theme,
we could
it's-
do it with Mentimeter if you wanted to, so that you could pick a 1, 2, and a 3 of the ones that we provided, and you just see it on the screen, and you don't have to,
Easy.
Right,
That'd be great.
yeah, that'd be
You wanna
nice.
try
you just
If we
have to,
can do that.
your phone has to work that night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No problem.
okay,
Or we can put it on your iPad, whatever. works.
right. Was there anything else down here?
Oh, that was my question.
Yeah.
Actually, was if you wanted more suggestions for themes.
Okay, sweet.
All
Can't
right.
hurt to have more suggestions, except for once you get past like 10
Yeah.
things on a list, people
They all
stop
We
blend
have a
reading the
lot
list.
already, right? Yeah.
All right, then I am looking for a motion and a second to adjourn.
No one wants to leave.
I move that we
I
adjourn.
second.
Okay, we have a motion from Commissioner Harney and a second from Commissioner Arbex. And all those in favor say